posted in the comments section of the New York Times that did a pretty good job of summing up the state of our nation. The post read something to this effect: "We have gone from a nation of Lewis and Clark to a nation of Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam." We as Americans used to embrace challenges and endure hardships for the good of our children. We used to sacrifice and save so that future generations would have a better life. We used to plan for tomorrow instead of just living for today. That mindset led us to span the continent with railroads, to construct a national highway system, to stand up to tyrants and dictators, to wipe out polio, and to put a man on the moon. That unwavering commitment to progress made us the envy of the world. Now, instead of tackling difficult problems and building for the future, we focus solely on short-term fixes at the sake of long-term solutions. We spend more money on video games than books. We waste our free time on the couch watching TV when we should be helping our children with their homework. We no longer ask, what can I do for my country, but what can my country do for me? What happened to that pioneering spirit that made our country great? What happened to the national ambition that made America the envy of the world? What happened to that commitment to American exceptionalism that led us to settle this nation from sea to shining sea? And more importantly, how do we get it back? Determination, exploration, innovation, they are all part of our DNA as Americans, and they are vital to the health of our great nation. But what our country desperately needs right now is collective action on a large scale. I truly believe that America is the greatest nation on earth, and Americans are still doing extraordinary things, but not on the scale required to restore our country at home and abroad. We, the people, need to face our problems head on instead of not denying their existence. We need to accept that our insatiable quest for natural resources is negatively impacting our planet's ecosystems. We need to recognize that our schools are inadequately preparing our young people to compete in the hyper-connected global economy of the 21st century. We need to face facts and realize that many of the industries that fuel our growth throughout the 20th century are gone, and they're not coming back. The reality of the situation is that our country has been in a slow decline for decades, and ultimately we are all responsible. We seem to slip a little each year and shrug it off to circumstances beyond our control. An economic downturn here, a social problem there. We have become complacent with mediocrity, and that is not acceptable. It's time we take the bull by the horns and make the necessary changes today so that our children and grandchildren can look forward to a bright tomorrow. Unlike Pearl Harbor or September 11th, where the country suffered a major game-changing shock, our current problems are growing steadily worse, but only in relatively small increments. This makes it extremely difficult to galvanize our nation's political will. Our decline has been happening slowly. So slowly, in fact, that we become desensitized to its effects. We didn't speak up when our manufacturing jobs were shipped overseas. We didn't take a stand when our lakes and rivers were being filled with mercury and lead. We sat on our hands and watched as foreign students eclipsed American students as the best and the brightest in the world. Jeffrey Immelt, the CEO of General Electric, summed it up this way. He said, "What we lack in the U.S. today is the confidence that is generated by solving one big, hard problem together." I couldn't agree more. Fortunately for us, there are plenty of big, hard problems for us to solve. Unfortunately for our nation, we seem to lack the collective political will to come together as a unified people to solve our most pressing issues. We've allowed ourselves to become fiercely divided along political lines. Red state, blue state, Democrat, Republican. I know this is a democratic organization, but I'm of the opinion that one political party does not have a monopoly on good ideas. In most instances, the solutions to our problems do not lie in the ideology of extreme right or the far left, but somewhere in the middle. It's not so much about being Republican or Democrat, it's about being American and using common sense and standing up for what is right for our country.